But I regard this as the beginning of a conversation, and so I'm really thankful you've taken time. And I think some of our team members will be able to stay a little bit longer and build some of those links. Just very quickly to kind of respond to, especially to your challenge. First of all, I definitely urge you and welcome feedback on the Douglas plan. Oh, multitasking. Because it spells out 6 areas where we know that intentional work with resources behind it makes a difference. It's housing, it's employment and entrepreneurship, it's health, it's education, it's criminal justice, and it's access to democracy itself. In other words, what we would deliver with the 21st Century Voting Rights Act, because that is such a big issue, as the council member raised. Both post-2020 for what we want to do, how as president I seek to make our democracy more democratic, but also just in order to get there, we got to be paying a lot of attention to those issues. So, and I think one of many really important things I heard in what Chaz was raising, and I would be curious too on your feedback on the criminal justice reform section we have on how to help people get back integrated, everything from removing the Section 8 exclusion to doing away with Medicaid exclusion and getting people voting again. But I do think there's something going on right now, how best to put it. A lot of white liberals who believe that some of these issues were gone, are encountering a lot of black activists who are saying, what took you so long? We've always known this was going on the whole time. And I have encounters where I talk to young people who are describing experiences of naked racism that have reminded us of what has maybe not been as naked during the time that I've been growing up, but has always been there. And so this is part of why I view this as a defining time in our country, that we either get it right in this moment or we don't, and that the future of the country depends on whether that happens. And it's with that in mind, and with all of the things we work to do in our community, some of which have succeeded, some of which have not, all of which we have run up against the limitations of what anybody can do in a country that is beset by these kinds of systemic problems. That motivates me to speak to them, and I would invite you to watch the way that I speak to mostly white audiences about these issues, and not only to audiences of color, because I think a lot of this is actually a conversation that has to happen among a lot of white voters who are maybe now being compelled to wake up to some ugly realities, either in ourselves or in our society. And then we're trying to be alive to all of that. So there are about 100 things I want to unpack and spend an hour on that came up in the conversation here. But again, through our team, through the mayor, and through some of the other folks in this room, I hope that we can find ways, because this is definitely not the last time we're going to be in Austin or in Texas. And I hope there will be more chances to break bread and to speak about these things. And in the meantime, we'll be very eager for your feedback on what you see coming out of our campaign as we go. So again, thanks so much. I'm honored to have a group of this depth of experience and shared sense of urgency gathering, and very much regretful that I won't be enjoying a meal with you right now. But hope we'll be able to continue the conversation. Thanks so much.
Thank
you.